writing at its best is a flow state experience, and that's also what martial arts is at its best. They're very similar endeavors in that sense. So I actually think they complement each other very well.
Absolutely. I mean, since I retired from the professional arena of fighting, I traveled the world and done about 170 seminars in striking and mentality. So I spend my time now teaching people how to fight when I'm in a fight gym, and when I'm not in a fight gym, teaching people how to think, but more than think, feel.
I think martial arts are a way to sort of like honor yourself. Everybody leaves feeling better. It's a way to sort of like approach, I think, a slightly more elevated version of yourself. And I think that translates to a lot of things.
Welcome to this episode of Fighting Spirits, a Zenki Dojo podcast. Join Sensei Tim Santos, an LA-born and bred Gracie Jiu-jitsu black belt, for raw, real-life stories of setbacks, comebacks, and fighting the good fight. Today, we have not one, but two special guests. Nathan Carnage Corbett, 11-time Muay Thai world champion, one-of-a-kind trainer and mindset coach, and Ian Brennan, screenwriter, showrunner, director, and creator behind hits like Dahmer and Glee. Whether it's martial arts or life, they share tips on always moving forward despite the proverbial punches to the face. Let's do this.
We're gonna have a conversation with Ian Brennan, Shotokan black belt. You're Nidan.
Nidan and Shotokan, yeah.
Nidan, Shotokan black belt. We'll talk about that more. Hoist Gracie blue belt.
Hoist Gracie blue belt, that's right.
Yeah, and Muay Thai expert. Or Muay Thai practitioner for the past
a couple of years, I guess. Yeah,
a long time now. Yeah. And Sensei Nathan, 11-time Muay Thai world champion, and I'd say the top upcoming mindset coach. I feel like both you guys are both champions in your rights still. Even you're retired, I feel like you still have that mindset of being a champion. And Ian as well, I feel like every time I see you, you're always in your car. Writing, you always going.
Yeah.
You always going.
Yeah, I call it my mobile office too. Yeah, that's right. No, I spent a fair amount of time in this parking lot.
And then you train, you 100% training, and then off right away. Writing again, then 2 kids, family.
Yeah.
Writing again. I know you're in production, which I want to ask about.
Yeah.
And also now training with Sensei Nathan. Where do you find the time, or do you feel like training gives you that edge?
I mean, what I guess, yeah, I don't have a ton of free time, but I have felt for most of my life that like martial arts was an important enough thing that even it's not always like, because I don't always describe it as like fun. It's hard work and it's a challenge, but that's always been, if I just don't do it, I'm like don't feel right in my body. And actually other exercise doesn't, other training kind of doesn't do it. So it's really more of a requirement. It's a bit of a bummer. I wish there was more of like, I wish I sometimes had the ability to sort of switch off and just be like, it's Zen time, or like it's time for like PlayStation, and that just doesn't happen. It's ended up that this is sort of, the downtime is usually martial arts time, but I think it actually keeps me, at a sort of at a higher level, because you don't have to sort of rev back down. It's very enervating. It's so good for your mind. And it's like, writing at its best is a flow state experience. And that's also what martial arts is at its best. I think they're very similar endeavors in that sense. So I actually think they complement each other very well. But I am busy. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensei Carnage, I noticed today we were training, and there are some cues that you're correcting me with the elbow, but it wasn't the elbow that I kind of got from it. it was the way you corrected it. I feel like at a higher level, I think Ian also experienced it.
Yeah.
The way you teach it has more substance. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Can
yes.
you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Well, see, I look at the being as a whole ecosystem. When I coach, of course, there is the element of technique. Okay, so the physical form that's perfect, it's been designed, it's been developed by people before, or myself, or whoever it might have been, to get the perfect technique how it's supposed to be. So there's a physical formation of that alone. Okay, but if people are, like you said, are focusing just on that point, they're kind of missing the whole, the magic of the force behind that. So in my last 10 years, since I retired from the professional arena of fighting, I traveled the world and done about 170 seminars in striking and mentality. Okay, mindset, mentality, how to activate people's not only technique in a vicious manner, but how to get them to even be vicious in the context of winning. So after doing all this research and development, not even research, it's basically just data collection of going around the world to like 25 different countries, all different nations, all different nationalities. And it's like, it doesn't matter if they speak English, it doesn't matter what nationality they are, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So everyone as a human being is the same thing. We have individual thoughts, we have individual uniqueness, but the driving force behind everything is this. So if you go around the world and you look at every gym, a right hand is a right hand. There's minute differences in the right hand, because this person says, well, you just do it like this. Some people say like this, some people like this. The jab, the cross, the round kick, the knee. Overall, everyone's kind of doing the same thing. There is nuances, differences. Okay, of course, I've mastered my elbow striking and I've put it together with an amazing system with boxing and hands and all this kind of cool stuff. However, overall, there's amazing people out there doing the same thing. But what people don't understand is the driving force behind the wheel. Okay, what is behind that? So when I have the ability and the opportunity to come in and train people like yourself and others, I go, okay, let me look at this vehicle, let me look at it holistically, let me look at it internally. That's why when we first trained, I said, just shadow box for me for 30 seconds. I already know I know how you think, I know how you feel, I know how you act, I know how you perceive in the environment. Just from seeing you in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Within 30 seconds, I can already basically give you a synopsis on what you're thinking and how you're feeling and where your lineages come from. And we did that, correct?
Yeah.
So from that point forward, it doesn't matter what I teach you technically, you're not going to change unless I change you internally, which is a mental component. Because everything you do outside is coming from inside. So now I'm teaching people in the best way I can.
Right.
Are you willing first is the question I ask people. Yeah. Are you willing first? Are you open to receiving? If the answer is yes, boom, first lay down. Okay, now let's make you able.
But that's literally what you said. It's like, that's literally what you said to me. Was sort of like, and I never had it framed that way. It was completely transformative. All this stuff, which sounds quite esoteric, had I've not experienced it, I would have been like, well, I don't know if that would work. Just like changing your mindset, like, come on, completely transformational. It's wild, and I think it's because that in martial arts, particularly traditional ones, it's all about the perfection of technique, almost as a point of that Zen Buddhist thing of like, before you drink the tea, it's tea. While you're making the tea, it no longer becomes tea. And then when you drink it again, it's tea again. All about really trying to break down every possible thing. And you continually break it down. And what it does, it means that like you never can quite perfect something. So actually all your training is getting something wrong over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so it's like you're actually get into a mindset of like, well, I'm never going to be perfect at this. I'm never going to be good at this. All which is fine, I guess. But you flip it on its head of then being like, all right, doesn't matter. What is your intention? And we all know how to like, I've thrown enough punches that probably most people can punch harder than me. But like, I know how to throw one. I know how to throw a kick. And I don't need so much more studying of technique. Like, you can just trust I know how to do it. And I would go in with a killer intention. And just, you also phrased it as, I remember saying it as posture. And posture not only physically, but like a mental posture of actually, if that's correct, even somebody who just has a little bit of training, or it doesn't have to be like you, it doesn't have to be a 1,000,000-time world champion. It can be quite scary. And that was a big light bulb for me, to be like, I've got to stop literally apologizing sometime for getting something wrong or for a technique not being perfect. It happens in jiu-jitsu as well, particularly Royce's style, which is extremely technical. So there often is a right and a wrong way to do it. Mm-hmm. And you can't just go up and sort of roll around all the time. That you can sort of unlearn some stuff. But with you, I think with punching and kicking, we're sort of wired for that anyway. So with a little bit of technique, we know how to do it pretty well. But if you have the right intention, it would be that switching that thing, the intention of it and the mindset would be better than getting technically better over the next year or so. It's like, no, actually, like, I'd take myself as technically proficient as I am now and switch the mindset. Much more dangerous, I think.
Going back to what you're saying for yourself, personally, I would rather spend less time the next year learning more techniques.
Exactly.
And embodying what I already know. Because it's really the embodiment of what you already know and the application of what you know that's important. It's not about learning more things. Many fighters have come to me and they're like, oh, I need to train here. Oh, coach, can I get some work in? I'm like, if you're not going to work with me for a year, there's no point. Like, get some work in. Okay, I could coach you for a month. I could do some mindset coaching. I could coach you for 12 weeks. I could do a 4-week, 4 to 6 week coaching package online. We can speak. I can get you in the right place. Yes, I can do all those things. Correct. Oh, I can. 100%. I activated you in one session. And if I never saw you again, it changed the way you think for the rest of your life in martial arts. So I can do it like that. Mm-hmm. Yes, I can. But the development of skill takes a lot of time. And a lot of time. And if you want to be the best at one thing, you have to develop that skill. You have to develop the skill of putting scripts and writing movies and all that beautiful things you do together. You have to master that. But why I narrowed it back down to the original question, the reason why we've only worked together 3 times and it's already transformed your whole outlook on how you do things. It's like you didn't waste 26 years of martial arts training, but I turned on 26 years of martial arts training, which is so cool to be able to do that for you. And I'm really honored to be able to help you there.
Yeah. How would you describe violence and how you can integrate that into mindset and how you train people to be comfortable with that energy?
It's like, well, it's in context to what it is that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So, like, if the bell rings, that arena commands and demands those things to win. So if you view that vehicle and you look at that vehicle differently, you go, well, that's just what winning looks like in this arena. Mm-hmm. In a sporting arena, there might be no hard feelings between each other than the fact that they want what you want, in the context of they want to be great, they want to win, they want the title, they might want the fame, they might want the money, whatever the driving force is. So all it is basically you just have to do what is required in that situation. So when you see me fighting or you see other people fighting, that's just what winning looks like in that arena.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to be the UFC champion. I'm not saying you need to be a Muay Thai world champion. I'm not saying you need to be any of those things. What I'm saying is you need to activate the spirit of the warrior within you at whatever level that is for you. Bruce Lee used to say, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. It's not about where someone else is and where you can't be. It's about where you are and what you can do in that essence of that. But of course, if you can physically train, and you can add those elements to the cup to fill, then you should do that.
Yeah.
So yes, everyone can do it.
I feel like you've been in that warrior path for a long time. I don't know if I feel like you're still trying to be that samurai.
Yeah.
It's always kind of, in martial arts, it's always, I think, talking about the perfection of technique, the perfect, the sharpest sword, right? The Japanese always talks about it in haikus.
Yeah.
Like perfect spring.
Yeah.
The perfect cherry blossom. That's kind of what I feel like we're always trying to reach.
Yeah.
And I feel like you put yourself in that path as well.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, I think a lot of times it is like, and it's I'm trying to, because it works in an artistic sense in that part of my life, to accept one's weaknesses, to say like, oh, I'm good at this stuff, but I'm not good at this stuff. And the second you sort of acknowledge that, you then realize like, oh, I actually have a really preconceived notion about what I'm good at and what I'm not. And some of the things that you think are your really like blind spots, your weaknesses, when you actually sort of accept them as that and look at them and confront them and sort of wrestle with them, you'll be like, oh no, I'm actually quite good at that. That's actually one of my strengths. It might be something I'm not. So I actually, and I find that in training as well sometimes, that I sort of, you get notions of who you are and what you are, that I sometimes think only have a sort of tangential, like bearing on reality. I think an external observer would say like, oh no, don't even worry about that. Worry about this. So I think it is, I think that's, for me, is empowering, but it's also part of the journey, I think, of and it keeps it interesting. I think the acknowledging you're imperfect, acknowledging you have weaknesses. I'm never going to be the strongest. I'm never going to be the fastest. I'm never going to be the best reflexes, and like, that's okay. It's still a worthwhile journey. And I think it's the big thing. I mean, it's artistic advice I give to people is like, do it. Just do it. Yeah. Just do it. It's like, show up every day. And then that's the hardest part. Like, the rest sort of does itself. If you have that will to do it, it's really remarkable what a human being can accomplish. Even if it's something that they feel like, I know nothing about this, or I'm not an expert in it, or I might not even be good at it, but I want to do this thing. You're just like, do it.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference between you and everybody else, that everybody else is not doing it. Once you just do it and you just start, it can be a really incredible, transformative journey. And then you get to a point where, I'm, as a artist or as a creative person, like I'm very aware of my limitations, but you're not hamstrung by them at all. You're just like, yep, that's who I am. I'm good at this, this, and this, but I know who I am, and I know how to carry myself in the world, because I've put the time in a way, like I've trained. I'm like trained. And it's a completely different approach to, in that case, an artistic problem or a creative problem, which are terrifying. Like, to stare at a blank page, I'd rather sometimes get physically beaten up than to stare at a blank page. It's a very, very scary, very, very lonely experience, and your brain does crazy stuff to make you not want to do it. And the more you don't do it, the worse it gets. It's like, it's a torturous experience. So it's not a dissimilar. It's a bit comical to say like picking up a pen is the same as like strapping on some gloves, but there's something similar about it. They both take, I would say, like a little bit of bravery, but the bravery isn't like to beat somebody up or to not be afraid. The bravery just takes like, just step in, like just get out of bed, like just sit down and do it. Like that's like 90% of the task is that, and the rest will completely work itself out.
Now, for some people, even getting out of bed,
Yes.
very difficult. You know, so I think this kind of the magic potion that we do is martial arts gives that ability, that energy to get out of bed. Right? We don't just sit there and give up.
And it's not always fun.
Yeah.
It can be,
Yeah.
but it's not always fun.
Yeah.
And it isn't always fun to get hit. It isn't always fun to get submitted. It's not fun to get like totally humiliated or just like clowned on and everyone was watching. That's not always fun. But actually, I think the more you get inured to that, the more you get used to that, like then you're like, oh, but it's actually not that humiliating.
Yeah.
And getting hit hurts, but it doesn't hurt that much. And getting choked out doesn't hurt that much. Like I can do it. It actually demystifies a bit, and then you're a little bit more like, and then you can accomplish that posture, which is what you talked about, which is sort of like, like I can take a punch. I can take a punch, and that is. That's a good
I
skill
guess
to
it's
have.
empowering, right? It's an empowering moment.
Completely.
I mean, it can be, disarm you, completely and shut down, or it can, empower you. So, and obviously it's empowering you a lot. So it's been great to see.
Yeah. No, it's a cool journey. Every step on the journey is like, and it would have changed from when I was 10 years old and like first like strapped on a white belt. It's been and I hated it. I like didn't ever. I wanted to. I had a weird. I was sort of scared of it. It was approaching a thing that I was very, very curious about. Was very afraid of, and it just has continued to be very, very enervating and continues to be interesting. I really I recommend it to everybody. I think some kind of martial art. There's something weird and interesting about it that I think is beyond. It's not just like being good at a sport. It's not like being good at tennis, which is great, but it's a different kind of thing because it's a bit scary.
This town is filled with a lot of creatives and writers that probably want to hear what you have and just what you have to say about how to get through it. Being, I mean, LA is like the jungle.
Yeah.
Right? It's like these young writers, creators are pretty much fighting for their lives.
Oh, it sucks. It's cold out there. It's not.
Yes.
It's no fun. It's no fun. But it's not impossible. And it's the big difference between people who make it and don't. There's a lot. The one thing people have in common is like you just cannot be lazy. You just can't do it. Some lazy people end up at the top, and you're sort of just like, how did that happen? Because like that's weird. It's just mostly is like work ethic, which isn't. That makes it sound like it's like that. That's such a loaded term. It's just do it. It's just get up. It's like sit down and do it. Just sit down and do it.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. You like gotta go through it. But it's the worst part. The worst step before the first step is like the step where you haven't even had the step yet. Like the second you're already winning, just being like, or admitting that you want to do something, or you commit to doing it, or you just say like, all right, I'm not even sure what this project is, but I'm like putting your fingers on the thing. That's just, you're already in a better position than you were 5 seconds prior, and the rest is downhill. I just think there's just no other guideline. Everything else is random. That's the one thing you can control in your life is like how hard you work.
That goes back into the mindset.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching. We were talking about your fight with what's the Japanese fighter?
Yeah, Magnum Sakai.
Yeah, we got to watch that later. and I was watching it right in the beginning of the fight, I can already see when you're standing there, it's almost like you turn something on, and you just went through. It's almost like you entered the Matrix, right? You just went through it, and it's a combination. We actually went through it a few weeks ago, right? Punch, elbow, finish, and then finish with a knee. And then after you won the fight, I saw your arms kind of just relax. Do you remember that fight? Because for me, watching it, even I watched it on my phone. I saw it, that energy, just you running through, and it's almost like someone was controlling you with a video game.
Yeah. You know what's really fascinating is when I sit down, which is not that often, but I have since I retired a few times, and actually when I teach, I never teach something that I've learned recently from someone else.
Yeah.
Right? So I only ever teach what is mine.
Yeah.
I don't go, oh, someone showed me this, you should do this.
Right.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go watch my own fights and I'd inspire my own self by myself. I'd be like, because I'd look at parts of my fight that wasn't a set combination. It was me acting in that moment and doing something that I've only ever done once and never did it again. And I go, what is that? And I go and grab that and I use that and I teach that and I teach that because that was the part of me that was just instinctual. So I like to teach all the instinctual things that I would just do on the fly.
Yeah.
So it was like more of like just a feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
So I'd inspire myself for my own teachings because I want to be authentic.
Yeah.
With everything I teach, I know that I possess myself.
Yeah.
Not to say that someone else can't show you something, but that's their gift to give you. I want to give you my gift.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people turn up and teach stuff that they can just teach techniques. But I'm only going to teach you what I've done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to teach you anything I haven't done.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't teach spinning elbows in my seminar is I only ever threw one in my whole fight career because I never like to turn my back and hope to land an elbow. Great technique, works a lot, been a lot of KOs, a lot of knockouts. Not saying it's ineffective, it's majorly effective, but that's not how my F-14 fighter jet fights. It just says the green light, it's only attacking from there.
Yeah.
So I only teach what I know, I only teach what I've done. I've developed ways since retiring to become even better than I was when I was fighting because I've developed ways to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
And advanced it from there.
Yeah.
But when I go back to, you asked the question about watching my fights, I'll sit down and sometimes I'm watching my fight and you ask, do I remember?
Yeah.
My body remembers. That particular fight was the year of 2005 and I won 3 world titles in that year and a new weight division, went up a weight division from 2003 world champion. I won 3 world titles, 3 different organisations. It was the first WBC world title fight that was ever given to Muay Thai on earth at the time, right? Because WBC is a boxing belt, but they decided to come and collaborate with Muay Thai. It was in my hometown. It's like the minds. The reason why I didn't lose a world title fight in 10 years in 3 different weight divisions in 5 different organisations, and what you saw that night. Yes, it's skill. Yes, it's training. Yes, it's all those hard work, but it was that decision that I wasn't going to accept average. It was a non-negotiable once I won the first world title that if I'm still fighting, I will not let this go. So it goes back again. Do you remember the fight? Yeah, I remember the fight, but I remember the reason why I won the fight. It was because there was no way in the world I was giving it up. It didn't matter if I already had 2 world titles in the same weight division in 2 different organisations. So if I lost that one, I had 2. I still had 2 to say I still got 2.
Yeah.
No, every belt that I fought for was defending the first belt I ever won. Even if I moved into a new weight division, I still looked at it. I was defending that first belt because it's not the right to be champion of the world in 3 weights. It's not the right to be champion of the world in different organisations in the same weight. So I technically could lose 2 of my 3 belts and say I'm still a world champion.
Yeah.
No, if you lost a fight, you're not a world champion.
Yeah.
So if you lose, you're not world champion. It doesn't matter if you've got another 2 belts.
Yeah.
You're not champion. 2 weight division champion. Who cares? You're not champion. You lost.
Yeah.
Everything else is second place.
Yeah.
So I was running through people based off that decision that was made that I'm not losing. So that fight was in my prime. I was on fire. I was winning fights. I was in my absolute prime at that time as well. I was a cruiserweight champion. I was put in my favourite weight division. I was, of course, I was skillful. I was hungry. I was determined. I was all those things.
Yeah.
But that's the driver. That's as we talked about earlier about mentality. That's that driver. So if you watch the fights give you the visual of this conversation.
Yeah.
So watch the fights.
Yeah.
Go watch my fights. Go watch Magnum Sakai. Go watch Steve McKinnon. Go watch First Time Spot. I lost it in the second one. Go fight. Go watch the Magomedov Russian fight, 5 rounds. What they did. So go watch Stefan Saspigi fight, 5 rounds, won the fight. Go watch the Pavel heavyweight champ. Go watch the tournaments, 2 8-man tournaments with 3 fights in one night. You talk about like Warrior Samurai. You talk about that 3 fights in one night.
Yeah.
So you got to go into the first fight, win that, come back, go back out the back, go back out, win the second fight, go back out again, and then win the third fight.
That's K1.
There's no elbows because they don't like to get cut, but this is more K1 rules.
Yeah.
So it's out of my actual rule set, even though I'm good at that anyway.
So with Ian, sometimes you hear from my members sometimes every day. You do jiu-jitsu. Actually, sometimes there's a few months ago where you come in here with a black eye. Not from here. So training almost every day. Coming here, training with Sensei Carnage, doing Muay Thai, and what is it that, how are things here that we do, in the sense that kind of like what you teach maybe in the ring, right? Not the talks, in the ring, everything that we do physically, how does that translate, or how does it help us in kind of our daily task?
To me, it's like, I think martial arts are a way to sort of like honor yourself and elevate yourself. But no one ever leaves, I think, like a training session, whether it's like an hour of karate, an hour of taekwondo, an hour of rolling, an hour of like hitting bags or throwing rubbery Muay Thai kicks. Like, everybody leaves feeling better about themselves, and it's not just the exercise. It's not just because like, oh, I ran a mile. It's a different thing, and I think it's to me it's a way to sort of like approach, I think, a slightly more elevated version of yourself, and I think that translates to a lot of things. You sort of leave. The days I train, I feel like I will be, even if you're exhausted, it'll be like, I'll be a better creative person, I'll be a better partner, I'll be a better father. And it's nothing you did. It's just that you honored yourself to show up and be like, I'm going to do something that's challenging and hard to better myself for a million different reasons. And I think that's just what does it. So you almost don't have to do anything beyond just show up and like try and like fail and be okay with failing, but like keep trying. I think that's the kind of discipline that like everybody can use in like every part of their life. And I think that's what brings me back. And you don't want to get worse. Yeah. And you're sort of like, I'm good at this. I don't want to move backwards. And I think that's part of it.
I really love that point about makes you like a better dad or a better partner or a better husband.
That's good. Yeah.
Because it really is so important. So then you can take care of yourself. You can like express that energy, you can dump that energy, but it's like dumping energy but receiving another form of energy back for it. It's almost like I'm dumping all this energy but then I receive this back, like you said, I receive it back and then you become a better this and a better that. It's that release that this form of, you know, training, martial arts being the form, that can do for you. So I really like to hear that, because you see, I spent my whole life doing it. Like I'm 30 years now, so I can't really experience it the way you can experience, because it's part of your life versus it's all of my life.
Right. Yeah.
So I love to hear from other people. That's why I love to help other people that aren't 30 years dedicated. I mean, even though you've been training,
Sure.
but it's not your career as such. So you're invested in it.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, and to be able to know that that's what it's doing for you.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I was doing the same thing and training, I still do, it makes me a better person. So to hear that is really wonderful news, because I like that. Like, again, see it's about the elevate. You even use the word elevate. I'm elevating myself to be a better being. So therefore, I'm a better parent, I'm a better husband, I'm a better partner, I'm a better friend, I'm a better to myself.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that. It's good.
You also, I think also the other thing is you tend to accomplish some sort of flow state at some point. So it really does stop. Just the electricity of your brain changes. So whatever you are worried about, you'll sort of like, at the end, you'll be like, and you'll know, you're like, my worries will wait for me later. I'll still be worried later, but it at least sort of trains your brain to go like, okay, you are not the prisoner of your anxieties. You have a method to stop. Angry yoga is what I used to call it for like a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
But it's like a little bit more, and I think and yoga's for a lot of people. I like did it once and then had to run out of the Beaker place with like diarrhea because I had red wine the night before. But like I think it's a similar attraction. It's just I think I'm not a particularly violent or aggressive person. I think I actually am pretty chill, so yoga would be like a hat on a hat for me. That for me it's actually like, oh, it's the other thing, it's keying into this other thing of intention, and aggression is the wrong word, but I guess it is a kind of
stimulation.
I find really innovating. I think really really important. As it turns out, I didn't know when I started when I was 10 years old that I'd still be doing it, but it's 35 years later, still doing it. It's wild.
Yeah. It's like a moving meditation.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Amazing.
All right, I think we may need a part 2 of this. This is great.
Yeah, anytime.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. That's a wrap.
That's it for this episode of Fighting Spirits from Zenki Dojo Media. See you next time. And until then, keep fighting the good fight.